I welcome you to today's conversation in strategic management, where we are now looking at the options. And specifically, we are looking at the techniques for aiding, in the selection of the appropriate strategy option. Yeah, the key techniques that one can use when generating a strategic option. And we continue with the same piece of study. You see, last time we had this conversation and we had time to talk about these strategies. We talked about the Ansoff matrix. We talked about the PCG matrix. We talked about different, techniques and the keys that are used in generating these strategies. However, this time around, what we want to do is to just make sure that we continue with the same conversation. And I want us to start by considering the innovation matrix. The innovation matrix, techniques used in selecting the strategic options. The innovation matrix provides a formal structure to promote and manage innovation in an organization. There is just a formal structure that is provided. The reason is to promote and manage the innovation in an organization. That's when we use the innovation matrix. What it does is that it abets in creating strategies that can help to simplify and design techniques for effective thinking. So it has all that help. This is a very powerful tool that you need to be exposed to and you have to be familiar with. Okay. So it can help you actually to simplify and design those techniques for effective thinking. It acts even as a tool for innovation. So it has got three key steps that need to be followed. That is the innovation matrix. Number one, the techniques are number one, you think. From thinking, you strategize, and finally, you act in order to promote innovation. That is act. Okay. So you think, you strategize, and you act in order to promote that innovation and the innovative techniques within the organization. Now, when you talk about thinking is very, very important and has really helped in many organizations, and all the organizations are encouraged to spend time thinking. This simply means that you don't just go on and act on a strategy, but what you do is that you spend time thinking, like analyzing, thinking, spend time to reason. So, the act of reasoning is very important. It does help, and it helps a lot. So you have to spend time thinking. After you have been thinking, you can strategize. Okay, you can think of what strategize, and then you can still act on this particular strategy that you have been provided with. So the idea of thinking is very important. And after you have done thinking, I've said you have to set up the strategy. And of course, we are coming to the strategies themselves now. On strategy formulation, there'll be a time when we teach you how to formulate the strategies, and then you act on them. This is basically the innovation metrics. And then we can have the SWOT analysis. Is also one of the tools that we use, or techniques, the SWOT analysis. Techniques used in selecting the strategic option. Now, with the SWOT analysis, you see, this one does provide us with a relevant strategy or strategic options for maybe, of course, managing the organization. It helps in fighting competition, and it's very useful in doing project planning. So we need the SWOT analysis and the measure, maybe the meaning, of course, of the SWOT analysis is what you need to be exposed to. And let me quickly bring you to the meaning, to the meaning of the SWOT. The SWOT analysis are simply the acronyms for strength, okay, the strength, the weaknesses, strength, weaknesses, opportunities, around opportunities and threats. This is the SWOT analysis. So the strength, the weaknesses, opportunities, and the threats around. With the strength, the organization embarks on doing self-study, where it looks at the strength that it has against other competitors, what puts it on a competitive advantage. And then when it is looking at the weaknesses, again, comparing with others, what could be some of the weaknesses? What don't we manage to do? What are we unable to do? Okay. Yeah, you have to find out and examine what really your problems are. Those are your weaknesses. And you will have the opportunities around. With the opportunities around, those are the options that are there for you to take advantage of. Such could be maybe some promotions, some programs, some subsidies from the government, among others. The threats are also there. Okay, what is it that is threatening us? Is it the economic changes? What is it that is threatening the business? So this analysis is very, very important, and you need this analysis whenever you are doing this. We use this to actually when you're selecting the strategic option. The other option, the other technique that we use is called the Pareto analysis. I like the Pareto analysis. You see, when we talk about the Pareto analysis, this one helps us to analyze the multiple choices. It is not like these other ones, but with the Pareto analysis, it will help you to, analyze multiple, choices or alternatives that are available to an organization. So what it does is that it helps to figure out the benefits a company can actually expect with each of the alternatives, and then it will give you the best course of action to implement that choice. That's a Pareto analysis. It helps in figuring out the benefits that a company can expect with each of the options or alternatives that it has followed, and actually how the course of action can be implemented. So the main goal of this is actually to derive as much benefit as possible from that choice of action. This is very important. Pareto, focusing on the benefits that we can derive from the option that from the course of action that we followed. And the analysis does depend upon brainstorming and bringing out new ideas from the management. So also, for example, it results in the active involvement of each and everyone involved in the process of, chalking out the strategic options in the organization. You see? So the analysis, it is not dependent on you thinking alone, but on brainstorming, where a group number of people come together and they're thinking, they're bringing out the ideas and sharing all these ideas. And as they are busy bringing out the ideas, sharing the ideas from the management, so it will result in the active involvement of each and every one involved in the process of coming up with these strategic options in an organization. That's the power of Pareto analysis. It's a very powerful tool and a very powerful technique. We have said that the goal of this one is to help us to analyze the multiple choices and alternatives that are available to us. We have what is known as the canvas strategy being another technique, the canvas strategy. Now, with the canvas strategy, or maybe you'll call it the blue ocean strategy, yeah, it's still the same. The canvas strategy or the blue ocean strategy, you know, it helps to compare the strategic profile of an existing market with that of the new entrant or of the new company. That's what it does. It's for comparing the strategic profile of an existing market. You're comparing it with what? With that of a new entrant. So the strategy helps you to develop a blue ocean market. This actually means that it focuses on continuously discovering newer markets that have a limited presence of the competition, and they have a good growth potential. So it means that it focuses on what? Continuously discovering newer markets. It means that it focuses on continuously discovering newer markets that have a limited presence of the competition and have good growth potential. That's what it does. Okay. We want to focus on those markets that are continuously growing and they're new, and they even have the, limited competition. They have good growth potential. That's what we focus on. So the canvas is strictly against venturing into a red ocean, or maybe let's call it the markets that already have a lot of competition present. We call those markets the red ocean markets and are already saturated. So you don't go for such markets where there are just a lot of people already, they're highly saturated. But what you need to aim at is going for those markets that do not have a lot of, people. They are not very much saturated, and that is very important. You need that. Okay. You need that. That is very, very important. Let's look at the types of available strategic options now. Yeah. So I was saying that those were the techniques that we have been talking about that are used. But of course, it's very important that you understand that there's so many, now strategic options. I told you that these are strategies that we are talking about that helps you to choose a strategic option. Now and then, in the next conversation, we should talk about the types of the strategic options available. So, yeah. So, do we have any questions from anyone? If there are no questions, we can end here.